Worst date was a date that I did not consent to with a girl that turned out to be racist. Okay. Well, how did you not consent to the date? Did somebody trick you onto the date? Were you bamboozled onto this date? What do you mean you didn't consent to the date? I feel like then somebody else had to set up the date for you to be there. And a girl that turned out to be racist. And they didn't even bamboozle you with a good date. What the heck? Okay, next one. A kiss cam, the Stingrays. Okay, so for Charleston people, went to a Stingrays game, which also, I think a hockey game or like a sporting event is actually a very fun date. I just would make that like, I would say that's like date 3. Like I would do coffee, a dinner, and then like an activity. You know what? I think that's a very good formula for dating. So a kiss cam, at the Stingrays, the guy stood up on the chair and shook his ass when I said no. That would be awkward if you were at a sporting event and the kiss cam went onto you and you didn't want to kiss them, and then on top of that, he just got up and like shook his ass. He's like, I don't know what to do. I mean, honestly, poor guy. Like he's like, she won't kiss me, so like, let's do something. Although that is a turnoff. Also, I feel like, again, if you're at a sporting event, I would say the best time to do that is third date or after. And I feel like at the third date, you would have already kissed or you were interested in kissing them. So that's why you shouldn't go on the first date, because what if you get the kiss cam and it's your first date and you're like, I don't know if I'm going to kiss this person. I don't even know them. So you do it on the third date when you're like, okay, this is going somewhere. Strategy. This one. So a man asked me what my breeding habits were. I thought he meant for dogs. I don't breed dogs. And he was not referring to that. He meant kids. This man just approaches this woman and says, what are your breeding habits? I'm trying to think of like how you would answer that. What are your are you asking how many times she's has sex? Are you asking how many people? Are you asking how to breed? That you should ask your mom. Don't ask that. Don't ask any version of those questions on a date. 2, never refer to breeding and a person in the same sentence when it's not referring to like animals, dog breeds, but breeding humans. Let's refrain. Okay, my birthday dinner, he said my acne was bad and, quote, just wash with water to fix it. I didn't ask. Birthday dinner? Here's the thing. I'm assuming like worst dates. I'm also thinking first dates, which I guess some of these may not have been first dates. It could have been, down the line, or even with somebody you were with and it was just really, really bad. But if you're at your birthday dinner, I definitely feel like this is somebody that you know, like somebody close to you. Possibly, I would say dating, like you are in a relationship with. He said my acne was bad and just wash with water. Yeah, nobody asked. Please crawl in a hole, I beg of you, and then just take the dirt and just kind of do this and cover yourself with the dirt and stay there. Let's do that rather than asking people or telling people that their acne is bad and giving them advice on how to wash their face when they didn't ask. That's a thought, something to ponder. Showed up and I was half a foot taller. It was great, but gave me the ick hugging. I get this, like, poor short men. Also, how did you not know? Well, I guess if you're on a dating app and they're not lying, like, that, then you wouldn't be surprised by height. However, if you're just meeting somebody like through a friend or something like that, like, what do you do? I was half a foot taller. If you're not expecting that, I totally get why that would be a little jarring. But at least it was a great date. It gave me the ick while hugging. I'm trying to think, if I were to date and a guy was that much shorter than me, I don't think I would have an issue with it, but also I'm 5'4". So it doesn't take a lot to be taller than me, and like height really isn't something that I look for. But I know people who are tall generally also look for people who are tall because they want somebody taller than them, because it's sort of novel or it's like harder to find. But that's funny. All right. Rainy hike turned into getting lost. He spent an hour fuming and cursing. Last date with him. Ooh. Okay. Rainy hike. Again, an activity. I'm hoping that this was date 3 or after. Yeah. But to be fair, if you're doing like an activity, like a hike or something, you really get to see that person's true colors. How do they problem solve? How can you work together? And if you're seeing them and they are just absolutely having a fit, like, like it's not the move. It's not the thing to do. It's not it. And, yeah, at least it's clear. That's why, but you keep that activity on like the 3rd date for sure.